Chapter 18. Being. Outside of my audience, groups repel me because for the sake of group thought, they kill individuality, that wonderful human oneness. I'm wide open to individuals, fine with individuals. Individuals are just great. Every individual set of eyes you look into gives you something, whether it's a blank wall or an infinite regress of barbershop mirrors, just as fascinating. People are wonderful one at a time. Each of them has an entire hologram of the universe somewhere within them. But as soon as individuals begin to clump, as soon as they begin to clot, they change, and the larger the group, the more toxic. The more of your beauty as an individual you have to surrender for the sake of group thought. And when you suspend your individual beauty, you also give up a lot of your humanity. You will do things in the name of a group that you would never do on your own. Injuring, hurting, killing, drinking are all part of it, because you've lost your identity, because you now owe your allegiance to this thing that's bigger than you are, and that controls you. I no longer identify with my species. I haven't for a long time. I identify more with carbon atoms. I don't feel comfortable or safe on this planet. From the standpoint of my work and peace of mind, the safest thing, the thing which gives me most comfort, is to identify with the atoms and the stars, and simply contemplate the folly of my fellow species members. My job is to watch the ludicrous dance down here for the humor and entertainment it provides, and drop in every now and then to show my former species how fucked up they are. Years ago, I began to recede past Jupiter and its moons, out to the Oort cloud of trillions of comets, beyond the planet formerly known as Pluto, back home with my fellow atoms, all of which originally came from some star or other, and not necessarily the one we're circling. I believe I'm bigger than the universe, smaller than the universe, and equal to it. I'm bigger than the universe because I can picture it, define it in my mind, and everything that's in it, and contain all that in my mind in a single thought. A thought that's not even the only one in there. It's right between, shit, my ass itches, and why don't we fuck the waitress? That thought, with all the others, is inside the 23-inch circumference of my cranium. So I'm bigger than the universe. I'm smaller than it because that's obvious. I'm 5'9" and 150 pounds, and the universe is somewhat taller and heavier. I'm equal to it because every atom in me is the same as every atom the universe is made of. I'm part of that proto-galaxy 5 billion light years away, and of that cigarette butt in Cleveland. There are no differences. We're equal. Unlike our fake democracy, the democracy of atoms is real. Depending on my given mood on a given day, I can reflect on one of these three relationships for a moment or two and find comfort in it, and know that I'm really at one with the universe and will return to it on a more.
I'm happy to tell you there's very little in this world that I believe in. Listening to the comedians who comment on political, social, and cultural issues, I notice that most of their material reflects kind of an underlying belief that somehow things were better once, and with just a little effort we could set them right again. They're looking for solutions and rooting for particular results, and I think that limits the tone and substance of what they say. They're talented and funny people, but they're really nothing more than cheerleaders attached to a specific wished-for outcome. I don't feel so confined. I frankly don't give a fuck how it all turns out in this country, or anywhere else for that matter. I think the human game was up a long time ago when the high priests and traders took over. And now we're just playing out the string. And that is, of course, precisely what I find so amusing. The slow circling of the drain by a once promising species, and the sappy, ever more desperate belief in this country that there is actually some sort of an American dream which has merely been misplaced. The decay and disintegration of this culture is astonishingly amusing if you're emotionally detached from it. And I've always viewed it from a safe distance, knowing I don't belong. Doesn't include me, it never has. No matter how you care to define it, I do not identify with the local group. planet, species, race, nation, state, religion, party, union, club, association, neighborhood improvement committee. I have no interest in any of it. I love and treasure individuals as I meet them. I loathe and despise the groups they identify with and belong to. So if you hear something in this book that sounds like advocacy of a particular political point of view, please reject the notion. My interest in issues is merely to point out how badly we're doing, not to suggest a way we might do better. Don't confuse me with those who cling to hope. I enjoy describing how things are. I have no interest in how they ought to be. And I certainly have no interest in fixing them. I sincerely believe that if you think there's a solution, you're part of the problem. My motto, fuck hope. P.S. In case you're wondering, personally, I'm a joyful individual. I had a long, happy marriage and a close and loving family. My career has turned out better than I ever dreamed, and it continues to expand. I'm a personal optimist, but a skeptic about all else. What may sound to some like anger is really nothing more than sympathetic contempt. I view my species with a combination of wonder and pity, and I root for its destruction. And please don't confuse my point of view with cynicism. The real cynics are the ones who tell you everything's gonna be all right. And P.P.S., by the way, if by some chance you folks do manage to straighten things out and make everything better, I still don't wish to be included.